Hi, I'm Mark. In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the panels on a greenhouse. So this is my Harbor Freight 6x8 foot greenhouse. It's about 2.5 years old. Over that time, the panels have obviously yellowed. Also, I have some hail damage in them. So I'm going to go ahead and replace some of them. I'm going to do the entire roof as well as this south-facing wall. The north-facing wall is in pretty good shape and it doesn't get any light, especially with my fence behind it, so it's not a big deal. For now, I'm not going to do the ends either. They're also in pretty good shape. At some point, I may do the west-facing end, but for today, south side and the roof. The first step is to remove the old panels, so let's get started with that. The greenhouse kit included these clips that hold the panels into place. I've also used some caulk to both hold the panel and to seal it up a little better. So the first thing I want to do is remove the metal clips because I want to reuse these. And then once I have all these out, I'll go ahead and break out the panel. So I've got all the clips out, now I'll go ahead and start removing the panels. The hope is I can use a putty knife to get behind the panel and pull it out and hopefully do that without making a huge mess. As you can see, the panels are very brittle and I don't want all this to break and go everywhere. So we'll see how it goes. Yeah, I don't think these would have lasted another winter. Definitely time to replace them. To remove this lower half panel, I'll need to loosen these two nuts so I can slide this partition up and then pop the panel out. Now I need to remove this partition so I can pull the upper panel out. Now that the panels are removed, I'll go around and remove any of the leftover caulk. We've got the caulk removed from the rails now, and now I'm going to use a wire brush to clean up some of the dirt and any of the caulk residue. I'll go around all of the frame and then I'll blow it off with some compressed air. Now I'll use compressed air to blow the dirt out of the tracks. So now we've got the panels removed from the greenhouse and it's all prepped for new panels. The next step is to start cutting the panels. This is double wall polycarbonate. I got it at the home center. It comes in 4x8 foot sheets and it's about 1/4 inch thick. When you purchase it, it has a protective coating on both sides. One side is clear and one side is blue. The blue side has a UV protectant on it, and that's the side we want to install out. So the next thing I need to do is cut the sheet down to size. The width of the panels that I need is 23 5/8 of an inch, so that's the first cut that I'll make down the length of the entire sheet. You can cut the polycarbonate sheets with most standard woodworking tools using a fine-tooth blade. A circular saw would work great, a table saw, or I'm going to use a track saw. With my track saw, I lay the rail on top of the sheet and line it up with the marks that I made. I set the saw to cut the proper depth, then I place it on the track and make my cut. There's the first panel. Now I'll mark and cut the second. Now I'll cut the sheets to length. To get the best yield out of each sheet, I'll be cutting one wall piece and one roof piece. The roof piece is 44 inches long and the wall piece is 47 3/4 of an inch. Now I can install the first two sheets. I'll remove the clear protective coating from the back side of the sheet. And for now, I'll leave the coating on the UV protected side. Now I'll cut the panels for the roof vent and the small panel beneath it. I'm using the old panels to measure my sizes. And I'll reinstall the partition. Now I can install the vent panel. To do that, it's going to be easiest to remove the vent from the greenhouse. I'll slide the panel into the frame for the vent. Take my time to work it into place. And make sure it engages inside of each of the grooves. Now that all the panels are installed, I'll remove the rest of the protective film and then secure the panels with the clips and some caulk. Now I'll reinstall the clips. And the last step is to secure and seal the panels with some caulk. And that's all it takes to renovate your greenhouse. This was a relatively inexpensive project, and it took the better part of a day. And as you can see, the results were more than worth it.